Hello and welcome to the second round of the Formula Waga 2017 season. Today we're here for 26 laps of the Bahrain International Circuit. Looking at the results from qualifying, David Wasserman qualified on pole with a 1 minute 26.1. He was followed by Adam Boesweiter and Jacob Reed. Jan Woznicka lines up in 4th place and he was followed by Ruben van den Hutting. Paul Rosansky qualified in 6th, he was followed by Jeff Klaus in 7th. Henrique Pimenta qualified in 8th place and Philip Kraus followed him in 9th. And Joy Volek rounds out the top 10. Ricardo Candy qualifies in 11th place and he was followed by Nelo Rosenblad, who was in 12th place. Jack Jones lines up in 13th place and he is followed by Erasmus Uagawa in 14th place. Jake Smith lines up in 15th and rounding out the grid is Martinez Yerovokidis in 16th place. The drivers are lining up on the grid now as the 5 red lights come on. Lights out and away we go, and it's a very decent start from Wasserman, but it seems as though that Jacob Reed and Jan Woznicka have had fantastic starts. They're up into P1 and 2. There seems to be contact behind. Yep, that is Henrique Pimenta and Joey Volek there. And it seems, as that's Reed who's made a mistake, and that gives Wasserman back the lead. As now we've got David Wasserman and Jan Woznicka in 1 and 2, but now as we go on a replay here, we can see Henrique Pimenta getting it all wrong into turn 1, hitting the back of Joey Volek, taking off a rear wheel, and that is Volek's race well and truly over. So we cut into the middle of the lap, we can see that Jacob Reed's getting a bit feisty there, going up on the inside of one of the Force Lithuania cars. So we come back onto live shots here, we can see Jake Smith gets it all wrong, and he's followed by one of the Nova drivers. I believe that was Rosenblad, and they have got to wait for all the cars to come past. As we look at Ruben van den Hutting going off the track, giving a place there to Jacob Reed, who's going to be cutting his way back through the field after that horror first couple of corners, after what seemed a fantastic start. But we can see that the Nova is going back up the inside. So go on board with Philip Kraus, who is going to complete lap 1. Heading on to lap 2, he's in the slipstream of Woznicka into turn 1. Could he make a move up on the inside? They make slight contact. That looks like Woznicka correcting for oversteer. But now Philip Kraus has got a great run. He's going to go around the outside. That is him up into second place. As we can see, Jacob Reed in the slipstream of Ruben van den Hutting. He's going to go up on the inside into turn 1. He gets a little bit of oversteer on exit, but it looks like the Nova's going to come back, and that's a massive crash there for the Nova and Jacob Reed. As we can see, Ruben van den Hutting in the slipstream right behind the Force Lithuania car, and he's through, and he is up into 10th place. So go on board with Jan Woznicka now, right on the back of Philip Kraus, who turns 5 and 6, and up into 7. He doesn't make the move stick, but it seems though that Kraus has had a poor exit. And now we're on board with Paul Rosansky. As Philip Kraus gets a bit of oversteer through turn 11, allows Rosansky to go up on the inside into turn 12, and that's him up into P3. So it looks like Kraus is losing places after making them up at the start, but here comes Kraus straight back up the inside from turn 13. As now we've got one of the Team Iris cars of Jeff Klaus, who's going to try and make a move on Rosansky. As we can see now, we believe that's Rosansky trying to make a move now. He's made a move on Philip Kraus, puts himself up into P3, but now Kraus is all over the back of him. So we now go on board with Henrique Pimenta, who gets a bit massively wrong there on exit, spinning the car around, and almost loses it on exit as we go. We look at Zach Jones now in P11 as Zach Jones makes a mistake, and that allows Jacob Reed to go back up the inside, and he is now up into 11th place. As now we go on board with Ruben van den Haring up on the inside of Henrique Pimenta. So now we can see Jeff Klaus also going up on the inside of Paul Rosansky and onto the main straight. As we can see, I believe that's Adam Bazwita. Yes, it's Adam Bazwita going up the inside of Rosansky as well on lap 6. As we can see, Jake Smith and Zach Jones. And that's Jake Smith going a bit wide. And that allows Zach Jones to go up on the inside. Bit of a poor exit though. And here comes Jake Smith later on lap 8. Up on the inside into turn 1. As we can see, Jan Wozniacki coming into the pit lane. The sole driller's car in the race after that horror collision for Joy Volek on the first corner. This is Adam Bazwita now coming into the pit lane here at the end of lap 8. He pits from P5 as Zach Jones is right on the back of Jake Smith here on lap 9. He's in the slipstream of Jake Smith. It looks like he's going to go for the move up on the inside into turn 14. But as Smith runs wide, that will give Zach Jones P10. So we can see one of the Force Lithuania cars peeling into the pit lane. As now Jeff Klaus pits from P3 here on lap 10. One lap later, he's battling with Adam Bazwita, who is also pit. So this is for position. And that allows Klaus to go around the outside and takes P6. So we can see Jan Wozniacki right on the back of Jacob Reed. They're going to go side by side, but it seems as though that Jacob can hold on to P4. Yes, as Wozniacki peels behind him. So that means that Wozniacki is down into P5, but Reed pits, so that means that he's now put up into 4th place. So we can see the leader of the race, David Wasserman, pits after lap 12. So we can see now Ruben van den Haring all over the back of Henrique Pimenta. He seems to be gaining on him on those new super soft tyres. But it runs a bit wide, and so does Pimenta. And that allows Ruben to go up on the inside and up into P10. As we now go on board with David Wasserman in P2. With his teammate Rosansky ahead, but Rosansky runs very wide. And that, I think, is a bit of team orders there. But we can see Kraus and Wozniacki battling into turn 1 here on lap 14. It looks as though the Kraus has gone up on the inside and up into P2. So we can see Wozniacki here, and he loses the rear. And that's a big crash. He's lost a wheel there, so that'll be Wozniacki out of the race from P3. So we go on board with Zach Jones here on lap 16. All over the back of Jake Smith, who locks up horribly under pressure. And that'll allow Zach Jones to go up into P10. Up into P9. So we can see now Paul Rosansky and Jacob Reed battling into turn 1 for P4. They're going to go side by side into turn 1. A little bit of contact there. But they're still going side by side, and that is Jacob Reed up into P4. But now they're doing a bit of splicing and dicing. We can see that Rosansky has got back up into P4, but Jacob Reed's got a fantastic exit there and keeps P4, putting Rosansky down into P5. So go on board with Jake Smith here on lap 21 of 26. Zach Jones is just in front of him after they both exit the pit lane. In P9, he gets a great run. Zach Jones, though, seems to be struggling on the cool tyres out of the pit lane. He goes straight around the outside and puts himself up into P9. So looking at Philip Kraus here, all over the back of a lapped car, Nello Rosenblad, and Rosenblad has taken Philip Kraus out. Rosenblad was a lap down, and that is horrible for Philip Kraus. So we can see Zach Jones and Jake Smith battling again for position. P8 and P9. They're running side by side now into the main straight, down towards turn 1. It's going to be Smith with the inside. Jones is going to try and go around the outside. He's going to try and hold it. And they're going to be still going side by side. Oh, a little bit of a wheel bang. Smith into the slipstream now. He's going to try and take the inside line for turn 4. But he doesn't carry enough speed, which allows Jones to go around the outside and to maintain P8 in this race. So you can see Adam Brzwita and Paul Rosansky battling for position. As Brzwita's going to try and go up on the inside. No, he holds on to P4. So we can see Rosansky's going to try and hold it. But it seems as though that Brzwita is right in the slipstream. He's going to try and go around the outside into turn 1. No, he tries to get to the switchback. But Rosansky positions his car well and maintains P4. So we can see a lap later, it seems as though that Rosansky has been passed by Brzwita, and now he's getting under pressure from Jeff Klaus. That was a slow-moving Reed Sim racing car. So we get a little bit of a replay here. See what happened to Jacob Reed in the Reed Sim racing car. He just loses it on power. And he gets stuck in the gravel. And that's Jake Smith battling Henrique Pimenta. And he takes P9 out of the final corner. As we now go on board with Pimenta, who's going to be in the slipstream. He's going to try and make a move into turn 1 or even on the straight and try and get himself back up into P9. Up on the inside for Pimenta, and that is P9. As we come onto the final lap, it's going to be David Wasserman who's going to win the Bahrain Grand Prix. The second round of the championship is his. But now we've got a little bit of battling here on the last lap. Jacob Reed versus Paul Rosansky. Cars off the track, cars into the wall. And it seems as though that Jacob Reed is going to hold on and grab P4 ahead of Paul Rosansky. Looking at the classifications, David Wasserman wins ahead of Philip Kraus. Adam Brzwita picks up 3rd place. Jacob Reed takes 4th, who is followed by Paul Rosansky. Ruben van den Hudding finishes in 6th place. He was followed by Zach Jones and Jake Smith. Henrique Pimenta finishes in 9th, and Nella Rosenblad was disqualified. Looking at the Drivers' Championship now, Philip Kraus takes the lead with 43 points ahead of David Wasserman with 40 points. Jacob Reed in 3rd place, followed by Max Shepard, who did not race this race. Adam Brzwita in 5th place, followed by Paul Rosansky in 6th, Ricardo Candy in 7th, Ruben van den Hudding in 8th, Jan Woznica in 9th, followed by Dionysius Farios in 10th place, rounding at the top 10. The next round is the Spanish Grand Prix on the 9th of April. We hope you enjoy. We'll see you next time.